But most of our young people, more and more, unchurched. They out there drifting. And when you drift, what happens? You pick up the influence of the dominant forces. What are the dominant forces in the American empire these days? Money, cash, status, spectacle, survival of the slickest, obsessed with the 11th commandment, thou shalt not get caught. That becomes a whole way of life. So that to be human is to be successful. It's not to be morally and spiritually great. And you be successful by any means. So young folk come up to me these days, Brother West, I'm working on my brand. I said, oh, really? What's your brand? I ain't got no brand. I got a cause. I don't have a brand. A brand is a market strategy to get over. A cause is what you're willing to live for and die for. You see, qualitative difference. You see, qualitative difference. I mean, as a Christian, the kingdom of God ain't no brand. Fighting for freedom of black people ain't no brand. Fighting for freedom for everybody, no matter who they are, no matter what color, no matter what gender, no matter what sexual orientation, all of them made in the image and likeness of a loving God.
Of course, that was the Cornel West.
Yes.
Presidential candidate Cornel West.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know why. I don't know why I think he's just running to just be another voice.
Well, I like to hear him talk.
You like his look?
Yeah. I once told Dr. West that you have the most luxurious beard because it smells so good.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You know what? It's so funny, babe. Mm-hmm. We remember when Cornel West and Tavis Smiley were like always together, right? Yep. Isn't that crazy? And Tavis always, that's the power of having a brilliant but also beautiful wife, is that you're so memorable. And you've been such a fixture in DC forever. Every time, babe, I talk to especially Tavis Smiley, he always asks about you.
That's wonderful.
You know,
I mean, it's his presence. I know there's some things, but yeah, no.
Well, no, he did it. You know what he did? You know, he bought his own radio station.
Okay.
So that's what he did. He's from LA. He bought his own radio station. He bought a historic AM station, and he's doing his brand on his own radio platform, which is rare. So, babe, speaking of your own platform, well, welcome. The Allison Marc podcast is back.
It's back.
And he looked at me like, babe, why do you have a suit on?
Yeah, I said, what's going on? We're about to go to church.
Nah, you know.
And then we had Dr. West talking about, spiritual things. I'm like, okay, I'm underdressed.
No, I put this on actually because I saw this tie and I thought, I didn't realize that the tie had the blue in it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like that.
You look sharp.
And normally, here's the deal.
Today is Wednesday, and on Wednesday we wear blue.
Well, here's the deal with the Allison and Marc podcast for the thousands that are, okay, maybe not thousands, that are watching right now.
Okay.
We have a packed show. Yes. Atypical, because our show is not normally an interview show. Mm-hmm. Today, we're going to feature a lot of people. But so after today, though, we'll return to our vibe show. Just you and I kind of vibing on what's happening.
Some silliness. Some seriousness.
Stuff. That's right. But coming up, this is a fun event, serious, but also fun, and for a great cause. Donna Bruce joins us now. Donna, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, beautiful.
Oh, good evening. I love your energy. It's so
pretty. Look at those earrings. Go ahead, Donna. She's killing them. She's killing them.
Yes, the hair, everything.
Now, Donna, you know we love you.
Okay.
Now we about to show Donna's flyer now. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Show the flyer.
This flyer is definitely make you be like, now wait a minute. Now hold up now. So Donna, you're having a great event on the way. And it supports a great cause. So it's fashion, but also a great cause. So here's the flyer. I'll say controversial only Donna, because if I'm gonna keep it real, Allison was like, and others were like, okay, where do my eyes go here? Okay, you got, it's the second annual Hair and Fashion Show honoring bereaved parents. Donna Bruce Unlimited, baby. So Donna's doing it big like this, and then we have this obviously wonderful model here with this hat, this outfit. It's a lot going on. So Donna, break it down, and you did it obviously on purpose because you wanted to talk about it. So
absolutely. So he is definitely, that's Alex Remsnick. I can never pronounce his name. He's from Baltimore. He's a designer, and I had to feature him in that hat. The hat gave me that church.
Yes,
for sure.
That church.
Yeah.
The elegance. We're still grieving, but in elegance. So I was really featuring the hat. And of course, he's a Be More stylist, so I had to give him his shine. But hello, my name is Donna Bruce Unlimited, and we are hosting our second annual Hair and Fashion Show honoring bereaved parents. What is that? That is healing through art. We as Black people love to look good. We can rise to the occasion. But since I have your attention through the fashion show, I'm going to go ahead and do a panel discussion.
Come on now.
Persons talking about trauma and how they're being resilient. And I'll have some therapists in the audience that's going to offer some free resources. Oh, yeah, it's a whole method to it. So while we come out on Saturday afternoon, we're going to look good in our Sunday's best and then some. Because Xavier is flying in from Vegas with his furs.
Xavier. Let me tell you something. Xavier furs, baby.
In with his furs, and we have the whole swimsuit scene, and it's just a moment for us to just breathe and heal. The holidays are approaching. I lost my son 2 years ago, and people forget that we are still grieving and moving and being resilient. So allow Donna Bruce Unlimited to pour into you, to love on you through the Thanksgiving and Christmas that it's coming, and just a night of grief and elegance.
Donna, you broke it down for those of us who've experienced loss. But like the thing that they don't tell you is, and life still keeps going though. And you still, like you say, you still laugh, you still celebrate, you still cry. Your lost ones our loved ones are always with you, but you're absolutely right. And even it's interesting, Donna, I love the fact that you were bold enough to step out there, because I'll be honest, the people were like, now when I show some of the, the flyer, people are like, now what exactly is going on here? Because on one hand, it's like high fashion fun, but then when you see bereaved, you're like, we all have a tendency to be like, oh, and it's all those of us who've all been through it. That's the last thing you really need, actually, is when you have lost someone and you get the old, oh.
People don't know.
As Christians, you got to look at, God has charged me with the responsibility, the moms that are coming, Crystal Gonzalez, Corinne Gaines' mom. It's some moms that are coming that I said, wow, these are like really, what am I supposed to do? And just pour into them, love them, show them that we have a community that is still praying for you. And we just want to celebrate you and let the models just rip the runway. And this is healing untraditionally in untraditional ways. So I'm here to be untraditional with a lot of things. This is the new that we're doing. We're not doing the average healing. Yes, we need therapists, but we love to look good. We love to just embrace and all of that. That's our culture. That's where we come from. And I am just here to pour it all back on the mothers who are because we're getting through it. We're getting through it. And it's something you have to see.
I love it.
I would love for you to live stream it. I know I'm pushing it now, right?
Wait a minute now.
I have two. I have a question and I have an observation. So the question is, Donna, in DC, this side, hi baby. This side, we have we deal with so many stories of families just torn apart by this wave of violence that we're seeing in DC. So on this side, where I work. And so my question number one is, if you had a word, if you can't make it out to this fashion show, what's your advice to other mothers going through this? Because there's still other kids in the family. You still have to be, a partner, or a wife, a daughter in your own right. So I want to ask you that advice, but I also want to say that bravo, because it's so therapeutic. What you're giving the entire audience is a moment to just breathe, to take in something else, just for a moment to appreciate something that's outside of what's going on. So it's brilliant what you're doing. It's
I need
brilliant.
an Allison. See how Allison just put this together, Mark?
Oh yeah, no,
I
that's for
was trying
sure.
to articulate that, but
That's
that's
for sure.
exactly what I was trying to articulate.
Absolutely. So I want to ask you your advice to other mothers, and quite coincidentally, today is the day of the birthday of my best friend, who I lost when she was 21 years old in a car accident. Graduated from Hampton on May 15th. On May 16th, I got the word that she had been in a fatal car accident. But today, November 15th, is her birthday. And so I always think about her on this day, and there's a moment. And I think about how her parents lost their young daughter who was still in college and all that. So what's your advice, Donna, for other families going through this unspeakable loss?
Find your community, find your village. We are a special kind of people that need special people around us. So find your village of persons who, because nobody can identify with what you're feeling, Allison. But what we can do is sympathize, empathize, and be a listening ear and learn what to say and what not to say. So my word is, don't be quick to respond. Just listen. Listen to what we're saying. And what we're saying is, no, despite the day being November 15th, the day after my birthday, you still rose to the occasion to be able to serve on your platform and reach others. So you are healing in an untraditional way. So thank you for sharing that moment with me. And my word is just heal, whatever that may look like. It may look like I'm doing too much, Mark, because I probably am. And that's grief, right? And I make it look good, right? Whatever you need to do that's healthy for you, but take care of you. And our young people, we have to, I just want to tap into that. And I know I have 5 minutes. The young people, my son passed when he was 32. He was young, and they need to be heard. We can't keep saying, you just go do this. We have to literally hold them by the hand, because that's what they did for us. They held us by the hand and they took us to school, or they took us, not you need to go, but not what you did, but what happened to you, because something is happening to our youth and we're not listening to the trauma that they're actually witnessing every day, just trying to get to school.
Right.
I have a book, From Shadows to Strength, The Saga of Donna Bruce. And I thank you for my 5 minutes. I really do. I can be found at dbuinc.org. We are a nonprofit organization, and we do provide trauma-informed cosmetology workshops. So we offer this space where persons can come and learn a new skill. They can sit in silence. They can learn dance. They can color. They can do shadow boxes, whatever that looks like. And again, I just thank you for this time. This is something that's near and dear and passionate to my heart. And I invite you to come out. Just come. It's just stop past the Reginald F. Lewis Museum this Sunday, 4 to 7.
I love it.
Donna, keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing. You are a light, and thank you for your time. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Have a great one.
You too.
Hey, if you want to, I'm a call away. Whatever you need, I'll come to DC and stand with you. We can get it done. We can do a show in DC.
Okay, well, definitely. Donna Bruce, thank you so much. Donna Bruce joining us. How great was that, babe?
Wonderful.
And don't be over here, babe, making me cry now.
Well,
I didn't even realize today was the
birthday.
day.
Yeah, it's her birthday today.
Marcella.
Yeah, it's her birthday today.
Woo! That was, man, I tell you, see the people, again, that piece of having to keep going on.
My thing is, don't, I love everything that Donna said. I would just, this has not been our journey thus far in our life. But I would just say also to people, when you see somebody fabulous like Donna, just doing these things, don't judge. That's another thing. We have a tendency to judge people because they're not grieving like you want them to grieve or how you think you would grieve. Yeah, don't judge. The burden is a heavy one that she carries, but she carries it well, just like a beautiful hat on her head.
She definitely does. Now, someone else who carried a heck of a burden. He's a boxing legend, DC's finest, heading into the Hall of Fame. Keith Holmes joins us now. Keith, what's going on? Let's see. Is your mic? Looks like your mic might be off. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. He's here. Him has arrived. Look at him, baby. Looking all good. Go ahead. That brain looks good on you, son.
Oh yeah. this shows my youth.
I was gonna say, don't let it fool you.
Now, okay. Now, Keith. I'm sitting next to my wife. Now, my wife loves DC, Keith Holmes. But I have a feeling you also love DC. It's not going to be a fight now of who loves DC the most. but Keith, as you head to the Hall of Fame,
congratulations.
Tell us how much you love DC and how much it influenced you to become the great boxer, one of the greatest boxer to come up out of DC. Can you share that with us?
Yes. I love DC so much that I'm still here. And, I really want to relocate, not just because I hate DC, but I just want a different feel of life. But DC is a great place. I noticed that growing up that we was always a footstool for a lot of other people, a lot of famous people, and they love DC also. And I know why they love DC, because we really, really support. And I have a lot of supporters. And, they felt like this was well-deserved, but, I'm real humble and laid back. So when I received the call, it was great. It was great coming from DC.
And tell us what, I'm from the Midwest. And when I met Allison, we were working in the Midwest, and she, again, loves her city. What did DC arm you with? How did it make you who you are? That's a good question, because growing up, I had the opportunity to grow up in Southeast and Northeast. My mom was in Southeast and my grandmother was in Northeast. And I had the opportunity to grow up really fast. I was catching the bus probably around 7, 8 years old. My mother would put me on the bus and make me sit by the driver. But I had to memorize all my stops from Southeast to Northeast. And it really built me up, because when you watching struggles, like really, really struggles in Southeast, and you going, like, my mom was on, welfare, and my grandmother was working. But as I went to both places, it was still struggles. And I was looking at it like I never wanted this. So it built me up to be something different. I never had a job in my life except being independent, and so I took the wrong route growing up, thinking that was going to benefit my family. Actually, it was actually taken away from my family. It was taking me away from my family if I didn't catch a grip to myself. So DC is a place where you definitely have to have grit. Have to have a lot of grit in going through this eclectic society now. It's like really, it's making me want to dig in deep and try to help my people get on board and get off this trail of this destruction. That's happening.
Right. It seems that getting involved in athletics is a way to do that. What is the key to trying to stop what we're seeing with a lot of our young people? I was just saying with our previous guest that, we're reporting on this all the time on Channel 9, where I am now. And these kids, Keith, they're getting younger and younger. And what is that path? Is it more rec centers, after school programs, a boxing program? What's that answer? What was the game changer for you?
Well, first of all, the adults have to stop getting younger. And they have to start to help. And if the adults continuing to follow the youth, then how is it that it's a future for the youth? So I come with a different attitude. When they want me to build something in Southeast, I want to build something on the other side, so I could bring the kids out of Southeast and show them Potomac, Montgomery County, and Woodmore, and all of these things that they never seen before.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a different path and a different understanding. It has to start with us, and we got to bring the children back home. And because the kids are out, like when my mother called me out the window in Southeast, it was like Keith and Dion, that was my brother. And if we didn't answer, we got punished the next day. We couldn't go out. Today, there's no accountability. Kids have they're not held under no kind of standards at all.
Yeah.
So how could these kids grow up and be respectful if they are not even taught respect? You know, so that it starts home. It starts at home. You know, and it's rough. It's rough, but it could be done.
And you're not only here, you're taking the message as a motivational speaker across the country.
Yes.
You know, how does that, do you find that common ground? You know, is it kind of like all the other Washington, DCs across the country have almost the same story? Because that's what it feels like when it's, unveiled on television. The same challenges, the same deficiencies, the same problems.
Not really. It may be in certain places, but when you go down south, I give you South for a prime example. They're still homey people. Yeah. They still homey people, and they're respectful people. And y'all know this. When you riding down south, what they doing on the porch? They waving at you.
I love it.
And they don't even know you.
Yeah.
You know, so it's more homified in certain areas. So I wouldn't say everywhere, but if you go up north, you go up Philly, you go up Atlantic City, New Jersey area, you go up New York, you can see DC, you see a Baltimore, all north is different. I went to South Africa, and I spoke to the kids in Soweto, and it was a situation where it was different. It was like the kids were orphans, and their parents had passed away from drugs in South Africa, HIV in South Africa, you know, and I had to sit there with kids that was infected with HIV and stuff like that. So that's a different type of adventure for me. So when you're traveling all over the world, then I'm speaking in France, I'm speaking in England, different things, you know. And so you have to, I guess, you create yourself to be what the environment is. Right. So I want
to ask you about your boxing journey to leading up, being inducted, but I have to ask you just about what seems like your holistic approach to wellness, to wholeness, to being a healthy person. I'm always saying, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to drink this drink or what have you. So give me like 3 keys to, to staying healthy as we get a little older, to make sure our health is in an optimal place.
The first move is the desire. I think you have to desire to want to.
Keith, I got that part.
So do you really have it?
I do really have it.
Okay.
I'm trying to be around for some grandkids.
Now be careful now.
Look, we're in the screen because we can't square up. We're in the screen. So I'm trying to I'm trying to retire at a certain point and live like my best life for me entirely, not answering, not getting up at 2:30 in the morning. So I need some keys. I have the desire.
Okay, so if you have the desire, you have to now start to recycle your mind and have people around you that's thinking the same way, that wants to eat the same way. They may not be on the same path, but they don't mind doing it. I was lucky and blessed to have had people in my life that were already vegans, and they was tricking me with food like spaghetti. My father-in-law, who he passed away, he gave me some spaghetti one day. And I say, after I got finished eating, because he didn't like me at first, because I was dating his daughter, and I was growing up the wrong way at this time. And he was a U.S. Marshal, but he was vegan.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, so he knew all about me. So he invited me to his house. He like, let's sit down and eat, son. So I sit down and eat, and I don't know if he poisoning me or what. I'm just thinking. So I get finished eating. I'm telling you, I dogged it, right? And after I got finished eating, I said, why did you make me spaghetti with meat in it and you a vegan? He said, son, that wasn't meat. And so from that point on, I realized that I can get that flavor, that same flavor of being a vegan. So that's what made me take on this challenge because I'm always up for the challenge. That's what boxing makes you. So I was always up for the challenge. So I started to bring that into my life, and then I started to love it. You got to start loving it. You got to start loving it. Love creating recipes. And I'm gonna give you a little secret. All you got to do is take your old recipes and turn it vegan. That's all you got to do. And you can make some great, great food if you already know how to cook. So these are the steps that I took. I took the step of desiring it, wanting to really do this. The second step, I had to be around people that was going down the same path, and whether they, and then I had to be strong enough to, when we went in restaurants, to watch them eat this food and not desire it no more. My desire was totally, after my grandmother passed away, my desire, after I found out why she passed away from her diabetes, and the doctors actually sent me down a path. He said, don't give her fried food no more. Just give her baked food. Then after she got sicker, don't give her baked food. Just give her boil her food, her chicken. And I was boiling her chicken. Then when she got to in her deathbed, he said, don't give her no more meat. Just give her vegetables. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Yeah. And
you didn't start with that. Right.
It snapped on me right then and there. She passed. I was already practicing to be a vegan, but after 95, no more. I never ate another animal in my life. Mm-hmm. So
that's that determination. That got in the Hall of Fame.
That's the determination. And speaking of the Hall of Fame, Keith, as we wrap things up, let's talk about that. When's the induction, and how does it feel? I mean, basically, many people have careers. Many people start off with a passion of something that they're good at, but to be honored and something that's going to stand the test of time, it basically says, Keith Holmes, this is what he did. How does that feel? Because I think we're at a certain age where we all would love to have that feeling. How does it feel?
It's a feeling that I never thought I would have the feeling of feeling. Like, because I'm growing up in the projects, and you really don't think, I've never thought about Hall of Fame. I'm thinking football players, basketball players, and all that stuff. I never was thinking about that. My career was based upon winning. That's all I thought about, winning, not knowing that those things came with it at the end of the day. Yeah. So when they called me and told me I was going into the Hall of Fame, I was like, what? You know what I mean? And this is something I never thought about. So has it hit me yet? Probably not, because I'm just laid back about a lot of things, right? So but it feels wonderful. It feels wonderful to go in there. It feels wonderful that I was thought about and considered. And then number two, to go in there as a one-time Maryland State champion, two-time United States champion, and a two-time world champion. So I went in there. I'm going in there like with the apex of the game on my back.
Yes. Well, we are so proud of you. The whole area.
And thank you. The young fighters stand on your shoulders of greatness, my friend.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me on.
Now, Keith, how can people follow you, by the way?
So I'm on IG, Keith Holmes World Champ on Facebook and IG and TikTok. And also the Lord Kicker, I'm getting ready to get into throwing amateur fights. So my next amateur fight is on March the 16th in Maryland. That's the date I won that's the anniversary of my first championship. So it'll be March the 16th. But Keith Holmes World Champ on IG, Facebook, and TikTok.
Well, thank you, my friend, for joining us. Don't forget about us, man. We have to get you back on close time to the date, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right.
Appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. The Keith Holmes joining us on the show.
Yeah.
What a show, man. We got a show popping tonight.
I know.
What is going on? Now, wait a minute. Now, I got our next guest. Wait a minute. Mark says, I'm not sure Mark is ready for the vegan life. Baby, Mark, you might be surprised because it's almost time to pull the trigger.
I could definitely do it. I just need somebody to make the meals.
Well, Allison was raised vegetarian.
Yeah,
so
but vegan is a different beast.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Kevin. Kevin checking in from Colombia.
What's up, Kevin?
Not Columbia, Maryland. Colombia.
Colombia.
I mean, Kevin says, I guess I'm a ride or die for this type of show. Yes, Kevin, we appreciate you. Whatever topic we're talking about, you always been here for us over the years, and we appreciate you. So our next guest, baby. Now I had to pull out the real read now. Okay. Zena C. Pierre, PhD, is the founding president and CEO of REARP Strategies, LLC, RSG, a full-service woman minority-owned business in Maryland. For more than 20 years, she has provided lobbying, advocacy, strategic partnership development, and political management. She currently provides professional development training and creates diversity, equity, and inclusion frameworks for government and corporate entities.
All right.
Dr. Pierre is a full-time pastor and author of the book, Your Prayers Matter to God.
Absolutely do.
Dr. Pierre joins us now. Doc!
Good evening.
Hey. Good evening.
Okay, first of all, Doc, you'll make me mad because Allison loves your house already. She's going to say something. She's going to say something, right, babe?
He knows me so well. He knows me
sees
so
your
well.
back, and she's going to say something to me about the house. But, well, Doc, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. It's so great to be with you, Allison and Marc. I watch you guys often, and it's just an honor to be here. So thank you.
Well, it's an honor to have you on the show. And actually, you know, the show is your oyster. I mean, you have so much going on. You have so much going on. What did you want to talk about tonight as we have you featured tonight? Because again, I mean, you are doing it, okay?
In a very busy season right now. We're
right in the very busy season.
Yes.
Yes, we have an exciting weekend coming up on Friday. So I'm really excited to even talk about this. I don't know if you know that the Legislative Black Caucus of Maryland is the largest body of Black legislators in the country, right in Maryland. And we have our annual legislative weekend that comes during the November month. And so this coming Friday, we have a host of workshops. We used to do them in person, but now we do them virtually post-COVID and in the middle of COVID. And it sort of works for us and it works for the people. But it provides us an opportunity to talk about some of the issues that matter most to African Americans and Marylanders. And so we've got the Secretary of MDOT, Maryland Department of Transportation, talking about MBE opportunities for Black businesses. We have Secretary Jake Day from the Housing Department talking about affordable housing and what that looks like in Maryland for people who look like us, particularly you know, in the downtrodden challenge that we went through with devaluation of property, particularly in areas that are populated by African Americans, unfair and biased appraisal bias. So these are conversations that are going to take place all day on Friday, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning until 4 p.m. Or 4:45 that afternoon. We're going to talk about environmental justice because a lot of times when we talk about the environment, it looks like it doesn't fit into our community, right? But environmental justice is very important to our communities, particularly if we're in communities where we have challenges with pollution. And it might look like just trash water going down in the stream, but it's a stream that's connected in our community. And so on Saturday, we have a fireside chat. It's the first time we've done this with our fireside chat. And let me tell you, this is going to be a major thing. So I really would love to see you two even be a part of this because we're going to do it at the Reginald Lewis Museum in Baltimore. And our very own Lieutenant Governor, Aruna Miller, is going to moderate it. We're going to have the comptroller. We're going to have the Secretary of Commerce and the Assistant Secretary of MDOT to talk about Maryland is open for business. You got to stop me because I'll keep going and going.
It's amazing.
Right. These are, you know, I'm really happy to say that my colleague at WUSA 9, Channel 9, Larry Miller, he did a whole series on appraisal bias. And actually at
Delegate Kim Taylor.
Right. And so it's real and it affects you regardless of if you are a homeowner, because it just speaks to everything. I feel like the key to generational wealth, or starting to level this playing field out here, is real estate, is home ownership. You know, so even if you're not doing it now. So this work is so important that you're doing and you're talking about. And I'm always struck by the fact that we moved from one area in Maryland to another area in Maryland. And the area that we were in Maryland at first, in the Silver Spring area, all these levels of high lead, right? And the paint, they were talking about all this. We moved to another area of Montgomery County where we are now. They don't even check for it. You don't have to even check for it, because they are so sure that there is no lead poisoning a possibility. I was so outraged by that. And that's what you really see, right?
Yes.
So this work that you're doing is important. And I'm so proud that Maryland is on the forefront of what you're saying, with just the number of politicians, delegates working for this that look like us. Okay, so we're heading into this big election next year. What's the game plan? I can't.
I just keep the horn of Maryland really quickly, though. You know, we're in, you know, as far as African Americans, we are in a very historical moment in time in the state of Maryland. We have a Black governor. We have a Black treasurer. We have a Black state's attorney. We have a Black speaker of the House. We have a female comptroller. I mean, history. And this is, and the one thing I love about our governor is he's unapologetic about his Blackness.
Right.
He's there to support and build for every Marylander, but he is unapologetic about his concerns for Black businesses, ensuring that they're not just surviving, but they're thriving. Yes. And so much so, he put in place recently an ombudsman just to deal with and handle MBE issues, first in history. So, you know, Maryland is on the move, and we're excited about where we are in this day and time. So, the elections.
Do we have the time? Look, I want to switch gears just a little bit, because I want to talk about how you sort of incorporate being being a spiritual person in this other realm of politics, because often, you know, the whole church and state has got to be kept separate, but we know that good, firm foundation in faith just takes you so far, you so far. How do you navigate and manage all of that? All those
you know, it's funny. It's what grounds me to stay out of craziness, you know, when it comes to the political arena, because I've been in politics for 30 plus years, to believe it or not. I'll be 59 next month.
Wait a minute now.
So,
beautiful,
you know,
beautiful.
I know this little light screen is a little fuzzy.
Oh, you look gorgeous.
And this is a real background. But I feel like I look green on the screen for some reason. But nevertheless, I cut my teeth in television at Fox 5. I was working as a PA and doing weather graphics for Sue Palka way back when.
What year was that? What year was that?
Oh my God. That was when In Living Color was out, and we used to watch it in the newsroom on Sunday nights when I had to work. So it was, oh my God, that was in
91?
90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Okay. We were in that newsroom together, because I was an intern.
You remember Ruth?
I was with Ruth Allison, and she said that if somehow our name, so she said she would put Allison Olison. I forget how she would say it. If somebody married somebody, yes, she's also another pastor, wonderful woman. That first foray into Fox 5 years ago. Anywho, okay, so you have that background.
I started, you know, in television, TV. I have a comms background, but the church was always my life. Growing up in Annapolis, that's, you know, my grandmother, you didn't have an option, you know, in the Black household, you didn't have an option. You were going to be saved, delivered, and you were going to serve. And so I was in television for about 10 years, did America's Most Wanted stuff.
We were definitely in there. We were in there in the basement with John Walsh. We were in there. We were probably friends. Okay.
Isn't that terrible? And so after the Clinton administration, I happened to be at News Channel 8 when the shutdown took place just at the beginning of the administration in '93. They came there. Someone came there. Janice LaChance came there from OPM to talk about the budget cuts. And I slipped my resume in her hand.
Okay.
You're always ready, right?
That was spirit. Okay.
So I slipped my resume in her hand, and the rest was history. I was hired in the Clinton administration. I worked in the Office of Communications in OPM, and I was writing speeches for Deputy Director Lorraine Green and doing a television broadcast within the government agencies. And then went to the Labor Department, became head of Director of Communications for the Women's Bureau, then wrote in my diary, Allison and Marc, that I desired to really move from that position to helping people in a way that I could touch them. And God opened the door for me to be the director of the Welfare to Work Initiative for SBA. And so from there, I found myself in so many White House meetings that the door opened for me to go into the White House. And I became special assistant to the president for intergovernmental affairs. And I was Clinton's liaison to county officials and city managers and mayors, et cetera. And then when we all left on January 19th out of the White House together, I was on the board of the National Council of Negro Women. And Dr. Hyde asked me, well, what do you want to do, Miss Pierre? And I said, I think I want to take my hat and go out here and lobby. And she said, well, you can do it in my building. And she gave me a whole suite of free space. And the rest was really history. I started this company, and, February, it'll be 23 years that I've been in business for myself as, a consultant. So I'm grateful to God. And so now I'm president of the Maryland Black Caucus Foundation, and we're the fundraising arm for the Legislative Black Caucus of Maryland. So we are the ones that make certain that we have the resources available to them for them to be able to do those things that they desire to do. And our chairwoman, Delegate Janelle Wilkins, is from Montgomery County. She's the first African-American woman in her position as delegate in Montgomery County. So doing a lot of great things and a lot of great work. And I think we need more people to know about what we do. So
I love it.
This is exciting.
Well, that's what this platform is for. And Dr. Pierre, thank you so much for joining us again. How can people find information? Do they have to sign up? Do they just come? How does it work?
Yes. If you go to our website, it's www.mdblackcaucusfoundation.org. It's pretty long. It's mdblackcaucusfoundation.org. And the Friday workshops are free. And I'm telling you, don't want to miss it. People are going to be talking about public housing stuff, how to engage in getting yourself contracts within the state of Maryland. I mean, all kinds of information is going to be shared. Mental health. Mental health is going to be another big topic. And we have a lot of great people that are going to be talking. Then, Saturday, again, you can register. Saturday, we're in Baltimore at the Reginald Lewis Museum with the Business Over Breakfast. And I think that Saturday night is going to be amazing. Too bad y'all can't come and be our MC Saturday night.
Hey, you know what?
Hit us up next year.
Yeah, come on now, next year now. We got to do it next year. And so again, definitely. So Dr. Pierre, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
And I'm going to see, Allison's actually going to go visit our baby, one of our babies at
Norfolk State.
Norfolk State.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna come see you, Dr. Pierre, just to be like, I just want to shake your hand and thank you for being amazing. You inspired us. You got you got 3-4 jobs. You got 3-4 jobs, Okay.
I know, right? But it keeps me ironically, it keeps me sane because with all the hats, after this weekend, we party on Saturday, but I got to preach on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. So, I got to put my priorities in perspective.
Yes. So. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Pierre. Take care now. Man, again, that was a breath of fresh air, right? Breath of fresh air. And I know, babe, I'm not going to keep you too long tonight because you have a busy show, but we got it.
Well, actually, I got to go pick up my car at the dealership.
Oh, it's ready?
Yeah, and I got my laptop in it for work, and I'm supposed to be writing this.
All right. Okay. Well, quickly, just ask Allison real quick. You got it?
Okay.
It's 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes only because they need your help.
Okay,
Allison.
well, let's go.
Okay.
Close at 6.
Oh, they close.
Thank you for being a friend.
Go ahead, Allison. Again, we'll see you next Wednesday. We are back, and we're back all the way through the end of the year with shows that are going to be fun, just like this one. Thanks again, and make sure you follow us on social medias. Okay, everybody.